Sponsoring placement on key pages, outlets, and channels where your audience congregates allows you to steal attention from segments you'd not otherwise have access to and send them to your offer or membership group or content platform. With sponsorships, most of the time, this is a quick shout out and call to action if you're paying for a verbal plug by an affiliate or influencer that usually includes a tracking link that they toss out to their audience. I sometimes refer to sponsorships or shout outs as paid placements. It's really all the same type of thing, native ads on other people's platforms. Now, when I say native, what I mean is that the call out, the call to action should fit into the host's existing brand, their natural programming, their content feed. It should feel like an extension of what they normally publish so that the audience is more receptive. The only difference being they're paid for by a sponsor, you. An example I use in the book is when I ran paid spots on a theme page called Six Figure Finance for a previous coaching offer. I messaged the page, asked if they do paid spots, which I knew that they did, sent them over my content, and had them post it with a CTA for followers to reach out to me. In less than 3 hours, I had over a dozen messages in my inbox from interested prospects. And I did the same thing for my book, Content Capitalist, on select book theme pages as well. Let's talk paid ads. So ads are going to really be dependent on a couple of main factors. A, what business you're in. B, where your customers naturally are and where they consume content. And C, the cost to acquire them across different platforms. Regardless, there are really four main ad networks or places that I want to talk about that are worth testing in 2024. Of course, those include Google, YouTube, which is owned by Google, but I'm categorizing them separately because they're completely separate types of platforms. You have Instagram slash Meta, and then you have LinkedIn. Of course, these are not the only places that you could run paid campaigns in general. There is dozens of other options, even offline options like direct mail, for example, that may be worth looking at for your business. But for the purposes of this course and of this lesson, we're going to focus on these four digital channels. On Google, AdSense is the main place to focus for keyword bidding. And so you want to look for low-hanging fruit opportunities there, such as competitors' names or their business that you can bid on when people search for those terms. You also want to look at low search volume, high purchase intent keywords where there's less competition, but a higher likelihood that searchers will be closer to a purchase. I like long tail key phrases that indicate a transaction is on someone's mind. And so an example of a phrase that someone like me might look at bidding on could be best online business consultant content marketing, right? So that phrase might only get 15 or 30 searches per month. But if those 15 people are looking for a certain mold, which I fit to the T, it's worth me paying a premium to make sure that I'm getting that number one sponsored slot and ideally that first organic result too. So that's Google. YouTube. Of course, you can run pre-roll, post-roll, mid-roll, all different kinds of video ads, but I don't love them as a tactic because when you think about the mode that people are in when they're watching an ad on YouTube, do they naturally want to engage or are they sitting there just thinking repetitively for those 5 seconds? Skip, 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 right? So trying to engage somebody in that dynamic is going against the grain. I'd suggest instead putting some money behind boosted individual videos, right? So uploading your own content, your own videos as normal, and just promoting them. You can run even programmatic ad campaigns on other blogs and media websites back to your individual videos. All right, so that's YouTube, Meta and Instagram ads. So the platform is just becoming so saturated that increasingly to break through with ads, you're just going to have to hit somebody at the exact right time with a hook in that first 2 seconds or an aesthetic that catches them and causes them to want to invest further to consume the ad and then to actually engage, click, continue forward in the journey. Again, it's just so hard to break through here. It's so saturated. You know, as soon as you see a platform become flooded with ads, that's the moment that audiences become desensitized. Now, I'd say just due to the sheer volume of people on Instagram and Facebook still, try them, but also try different kinds of campaigns. So you can try swipe up ads, but also try boosting your posts and promoting individual content assets on Instagram. So if you have a book like the one that I do, I'll be running individual posts just to my personal website, to my blog, to my book website, probably to my Instagram profile, right? So it's not always about sending people to a sale event when it comes to ads on IG and Facebook, even though that's what the majority are doing. But that's the very reason that you want to look at being more creative, finding other types of arbitrage opportunities, and taking advantage of those. Even sending people to DM, prompting them to shoot you a message on a boosted post that has a potent CTA in the actual graphic. Things like this that are just different than the norm. LinkedIn is expensive. If you sell to businesses and you have substantial ad budget, meaning probably 5,000 plus in disposable experimental ad budget per month, go ahead and try LinkedIn ads. Otherwise, you're much better served just hiring a lead gen virtual assistant to email people from your profile or from their profile. All right, so that's one side of traffic generation, paid ads, right? Let's talk about the other half, as I categorize it in the book, that I call waterfall lead engines. This really encompasses kind of 5 different types of semi-automated campaigns that you can set up online to help send traffic to a destination, whether that's a call scheduler, a content hub like Instagram or a blog, or your VIP private group. So again, waterfall lead engines, as I call them, are essentially semi-automated activities that you launch to drive a continuous stream of leads to your platforms. These include lead magnet campaigns, sponsorships, which we actually just discussed above, mass and auto DMs, affiliates, and a webinar, either as an automated sales webinar or a recurring live webinar. The best approach here is to test multiple of these methods in tandem to see what works for you. In general, lead magnet campaigns will work best if you have significant ad budget to promote them and can leverage them on the front end to drive toward a primary offer. Sponsorships will work best if you have budget to compensate partners to run these shout out campaigns and to feature your tracking links in their content. Mass DMs and auto DMs will work best if you need to cast a wide net and you want to reach the maximum amount of people in your total addressable market, as well as if most of your audience is on Instagram in particular. Affiliates will work well if you're semi-well known and you have an offer that's attractive enough to entice affiliates to want to jump on board and promote to their audience, which is not an easy thing to do because most people are promoting their own stuff. And webinars are great, especially if you have longer sales cycles and can commit to consistently showing up to serve your audience in this format. This could also be like a weekly group workshop or something like that that you get together on Zoom. You do just on a recurring weekly basis. People come, you serve value, and then you build relationships that way. That could also be one way to leverage, quote, webinars as a way to generate unique and new leads week over week.